Rick, what did you remember about what you liked about Gabe during the preseason, and how have you kind of tracked what he's done with the Blues so far this year?
Yeah, hard-playing guy, tough-minded, 3-and-D, NBA caliber player, and so this is his first NBA contract, first run with an NBA team. So congratulations to him. He's earned it. As an organization, we like to promote from within whenever we can. So this is a great opportunity for him, and for us to get another guy depth-wise that can help us both in games and in practice.
Speaking of the boom, what did you see from Kam in his debut down in Noblesville, and how did he come out of that health-wise?
It's fine. He practiced today, so it went well. I didn't see the game, but I got some of the details. He was a plus in the game, and they were ahead at halftime, and I think he had 6 points and ran the team well. So all good stuff, and so we'll see what his stuff looks like the next several days as to whether he'll be with us on certain nights or with a boom, but everything's on the table.
How did he progress in practice? What have you seen from him with each progressive step, I guess, as far as practice?
Well, doing well. I mean, he's every step of the way, he's met every threshold, and he's doing well. He went through everything in practice today, no issues, and so it's a great opportunity, for him to move forward from here.
To go back to Gabe, how do you see his fit positionally? Where do you feel like he can operate with you guys?
He can play 3 or 4. He's playing both those positions with the boom, and look, he's a tough-minded, high basketball IQ guy that's put in the work, and he's really earned this opportunity. This is a culmination of a lot of years of hard work and different training camps and G League opportunities and stuff like that, and so I know he's going to make the best of it.
I think you called that energy effort from last game unacceptable and unacceptable. How does that change the way you do, if any ways, for your next practice? Does it need to be more intense? Do you need to do anything different following a game like that?
Yes. No, it was poor. It was probably as poorly as we played all year. We've had some other tough games, but to play like that at home was very disappointing.
7 going on 8 weeks into this regular season, where have you seen the most tangible improvements with this group? You're still working on a lot of things, but what's the biggest positive you take away so far?
We have great guys working hard. We've had some improvement, some significant improvement defensively. Last 9 or 10 games, we're, I think, in the top 10 defensively. That's a big positive, and health-wise, we're moving in a good direction. It's going to take some time still for Aaron and Chet, but we're going to count our blessings. We're going to remain positive and keep working hard.
Are things starting to settle in and kind of feel normal now?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it was a pretty hectic first week out here, but I feel pretty acclimated to the group. I think just continuing to try to build chemistry with the team, on and off the court. I think the relationships are building. So yeah.
I think I asked you about offense maybe a week ago. Defensively, where are you trying to improve and maybe also help out Andrew picking up some tougher matchups?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, anytime I could relieve pressure on him and Ben, picking up some of their better guards, that'll help the team, and that'll help me progress my career as well. And that's something that I'm really trying to key in on.
I think Rick's quote was about a week ago that Andrew's one of the best defenders in the world. I mean, what have you learned just by watching him, and any tips or tricks he can provide to help you?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think the way he plays is so physical. Like every action he's involved in, there's going to be like friction with him and his man, the screener, whatever it is, and continuing to play through that contact. is something that I'm trying to emulate. So yeah.
Where were you at last May during the playoffs? Pacers were playing the Knicks. Do you remember watching that series?
Yeah, for sure. I do remember watching the series. It was a crazy series. Some crazy plays were made, but definitely, some history with both franchises, before just last year. So, yeah.
In May, though, where a guy like you, what are you kind of doing? Trying to make calls, or where are you at?
I believe by May we finished the G League finals already. So I was probably back home working out. Or in Orlando working out. So yeah, just watching from wherever I was.
So you remember some of those Tyrese comebacks and some of those shots?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's great feelings. Like I see the highlights, every week. You know what I mean? And being able to see those plays in those moments is something big, and something I hope to be a part of one day. So yeah.
What's the emotional balance for you in the last 2 weeks of every day you maybe feel a little bit more settled, but you're still trying to prove yourself every single day?
No, definitely. Just trying to take it step by step. I try to remind myself, be where my feet are. It's not the day I got signed. It's not, 2 months from now is today. So just trying to take every step that I can, working my way up, getting more acclimated to the team, and, continuing to try to prove myself.
To go back to the defensive end, what's it been like just to get used to the speed and physicality that you're dealing with? I saw you running to Embiid on Friday night, and that like it was a moment. What's it like to get used to the size of the guys and the speed of the guys?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think, the G League is a pretty fast-paced league. I think, that the speed of the game wasn't too much different, but definitely guys here are longer, stronger, more physical. So definitely getting used to that as well, and kind of, adjusting. My physical, like on that MB play, maybe I was a little too physical, you know what I mean? But just trying to find that gauge of, know when to hit, know when to accept the hit, all that type of stuff.
Well, welcome. From the moment you kind of got that call, and what's the last 24 hours been like for you?
Fast, but it's been a blessing, just being able to talk to my people and really just look back at, the journey and just how hard fought it's been, the ups and downs. Just really look at it and be, in a moment of just gratefulness and really just praise.
And now that you're here, what do you hope to show the team and your teammates?
Yeah, I mean, just effort, a lot of effort, bringing energy, effort, and then on the defensive end, helping there. So wherever they need me, that's where I'll fill in and, just listen and do my job, So.
Preseason was obviously, beneficial for you. How do you think that showed that you belong?
Yeah, I think preseason was a big piece. Being able to get kind of my toes in the water, understand how this all works, and then having that opportunity really led into being in the G League, and then great G League program they have here with the Boom, and that helped me continue that growth, and that's led to this. So I'm thankful for that whole path that it's been.
You hear from your agent that this is possible. Who was your first call right after?
My first call, it was my mom. I called my mom, and she was about to catch a flight, so I caught her right before, but she was just overjoyed. I think, it's, we talk about this, we dream about this when we're younger, and so being able to share that with my mom and be able to have that experience is something like no other, and we'll always remember.
Think she'll be able to get to any of these games?
I'm gonna fly her out, yeah. That's already in the plan. I mean, once that all got in the works, yeah, I'm gonna make sure she finds time.
How did the, preseason obviously helps you know the system a little bit, but the full time from then to with the Boom to now, how do you feel like you've learned the system and what's going to be needed of you?
Yeah, I think the biggest piece is we all come from different places, different walks of life, even that comes from regular and then also basketball wise, and so being able to fill into the culture that they have here and then be able to understand their basketball and the way they move, I mean, it's a big, huge help. I mean, to understand what they're looking for, do the things that they want, and to grow in that, it's extra focused growth, so.
What do you think just makes you a good fit for this organization, or what has made this organization a good fit for you?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just the culture. They have guys that are good guys. I mean, I like to consider myself a pretty decent guy, right? So being able to do that, and then I just like the way they push the pace. They're unselfish. I think that's the best way to win is when it's not based around one person, but it's based around everybody. So being able to help fill into that, and it's like let's be a culture of togetherness and then also unselfishness, and that's what they do along with a lot of the talent that they have.
What's just been the most important thing Rick's told you so far, I guess? I mean, a lot of times when he gets a new guy, he's like, hey, this is your job.
Yeah.
Has he talked to you about that? I guess what are the most important things he told you that he's going to want to see?
Completely. I think the biggest thing is just energy, come in. And one of the things that I'm really thankful for, too, is just, he said, be you, I think that's a big worry to a lot of people when they go to a place is like, what are they going to, want from me? What are they going to, expect, all this stuff. But just hearing be you is one of the best things. And be you to me is just be me and play hard, play with effort, no matter what it looks like results-wise. I'll give the same thing every single time.
When you come in here on a day like this, there's so much coming at you all at once. Is there one thing your brain kind of focuses in on to kind of find a center almost?
Yeah, this is the biggest thing for my life, but it's my faith, my faith in God, my faith in Jesus Christ. Like, that's the foundation for me. So, of course, there's highs. This is one of the highs, and it's like, all right, I wake up. I'm still thankful for the things that I was thankful on a bad day. Being able to have air in my lungs, being able to step on a court. A court now it's the Pacers court, right? So, just having that feeling of just like, it's going to be the same. God's with me, in every single moment, and a day like today, it's all right. He brought me to this. And I'm just going to continue to be me, and my eyes are focused on him, and that's where I'll continue to be focused, is on him, and let him handle the results.
What kind of carried over from camp today? I mean, basically, like, what did you feel like was sort of still there? They haven't even practiced that much, frankly, since camp ended.
I mean, yeah, they're professionals, and so they pick up one thing and it just sticks. And so a lot of the stuff preseason-wise, you can tell they've made different tweaks, adjustments, all this stuff, like teams do. But being able to come in and feel the same flow, be a part of the same, emotion that they're going through, and just IQ of basketball, being able to just fill in and fit. So it's been good. And then also the teammates picking me up, helping me, get adjusted to the new things.
41, not a particularly common NBA number. Is there any story behind that?
Yeah. So I'm big in my faith, right? So 40 is how many nights Jesus spent in the wilderness, and so 41st is kind of just coming out of that wilderness to know God's like faithfulness, all this stuff. So it was a number I decided to change to. Obviously 30's up in the rafters, so can't choose that. But I was like, you know what, 41, because it's like I'm gonna just trust God's plan, His purpose, and His faithfulness, and a little bit of believing in His hope, reward. So it's 41 for me, continuing to chase after the wilderness.
I guess to stick on that theme, when did it most feel like the wilderness over the course of your career? When did it most feel like, man, I'm not sure if this is going to lead to the NBA? I mean, like, what were the toughest times for you in sticking with it?
Yeah, I mean, there's been a ton. I mean, when wasn't there, a little wilderness? There's always been ups and downs, but I think especially coming into a business like the NBA, it's so up and down. Things can change so fast. I mean, last 24 hours, it changed in a very good way for me. And so it's kind of just not knowing, but it's like, all right, I'm in the wilderness. Like, when you're struggling, all this stuff, like, who are you going to focus on? And that's where, I turn my eyes upward. And when you are through the thick of it, it may be the G, it may be certain situations, just keep your eyes up. And that's what I continue to do. And then all of a sudden, I'm blessed to stand here wearing 41 on what I call my 41st day. It's been an up and down journey, but I'm blessed to be here. And I mean, I've had so many people help me on my path. One of them being my high school coach, Mike Grotehouse. I mean, he's a big part of my life. In high school, he really just, was a big father figure to me and just helped me, and even just put me in connection to a lot of people to help me be able to where I am today. And then, of course, my agent, Neil Rosenstein, I mean, he's doing all the behind the scenes, but I mean, I wouldn't be here without him. And then a GCU alumni that's just been in my corner. He's backed me for many years, and I'm just super thankful for him. So it's just been a pleasure, and I can't be more grateful for those people, so appreciate it. Yeah.
How are you doing with the back now? How did it feel to be able to be back playing again?
I mean, it feels good. My body feels good. It's a blessing to just come out here and, play basketball as a job. And, I'm grateful that we took the time out to let my body heal and do what it's supposed to do. And, my body feels great. My rhythm feels fine. My rhythm feels, kind of normal. It's just getting back, in Pacer shape, getting back in game shape.
When did you find out about it? Did you stress things can be a lot of time? Like, were you hurt before? What actually started this?
No, I was playing basketball, took a weird step, kind of felt something, instantly. But I played through it that day, And, you know, I told the trainers, and, you know, not too long after that, you know, they told me I was going to be out for a little while.
What was the rehab process like for something like that? Is it just sit around and let it heal? Was there something you had to do every day? What was that like?
It was a little bit of both. Like, for the first, like, month and a half, you know, I wasn't even jumping. So all my shooting was just on the ground. I was shooting free throws from the three-point line. You know, it was fun, though. It was good to, you know, be with Coach Johnny, Matt Ryan a lot of the times, all our different guys over there helping me. You know, I'm grateful to be in a place like this that, you know, accepts me for who I am and understands, you know, my body and what it needs to do to get better.
What was that challenge mentally? If you get to the NBA, it's so exciting, and then immediately you can't do anything. You have to sit.
Yeah, it's very challenging, you know, especially, you know, in my shoes and where I am in my career. It's very challenging to know that, you know, this year, you know, kind of matters for my career and how I want it to be. And, you know, sit out, you know, 26 games already. You know, it's kind of frustrating, but you just got to control what you can control and, you know, leave it in God's hands.
Was that, when you said you made a bad step when you were playing, was that down in Orlando? Was that before you went to Orlando for Pascal's thing? I mean, like, when did that fit in as far as pre-training camp?
It's like around that time, around the Orlando time. But after it happened, I was still like shooting and stuff, but it still kind of bothered me. And then I was literally shooting, just getting shots up, and you know, Josh came and pulled me over, and that's when he told me the news. You know, that was in September before training camp. So yeah, it's good to, you know, be in a full practice now and, you know, kind of feel a part of the team.
I guess just what's the ramp up been like over the last couple of weeks? I mean, like when did you get to start playing stuff? I mean, like what's that process been like?
I've been going live, kind of like what we were just doing. I've been kind of doing that for about a week and a half now. So yeah, it's been good. You know, just getting my body back in shape.
How good did it feel to play in that game with the Boom the other night?
It felt amazing, man. It felt amazing to just go out there and play basketball, man, for real.
What did you kind of like? What did you need to know? What did you need to see, I guess, to feel comfortable again in terms of what you were able to do? Like, what were you kind of waiting on to be able to feel like, okay, like I have this back?
As far as my body?
Yeah.
Just kind of cutting full speed. You know, that's a big part of my game, me movement and cutting. So I love to have full confidence in my body to make, you know, game speed cuts. And once I made a few game speed cuts and felt fine, that kind of is what clicked for me. It was like, all right, I'm good.
How long, or have you had any major injuries of this length of time before?
No.
What was that part like for you, having to be out for this long and just dealing with what comes with that?
You know, it was very interesting because, you know, I thought about that. You know, like, I guess I chose an interesting time to, you know, have this happen to me. But, you know, I talked to a lot of people who've been out, you know, with injuries. You know, Kam Jones was one of them. At Marquette, he was out, missed almost 2 years. That was the main source, talking to Tyrese, you know, talking to guys that are going through stuff like that. And, you know, the main thing I always hear is control what you can and just let your body do what it's going to do.
When you get back on the floor after it is your first major one of your life, how did it feel any different? Like, did you have to remember anything? Did it feel like riding a bike right away? Like, how did that process go?
No, my rhythm felt like I had been playing, you know, that time I was off. Now, my win let me know that I was off for that amount of time. But my rhythm, you know, how I play, it all felt fine. It all felt great to just be out there and hoop.
Just how do you feel game conditioned, and how long did that take, I guess, to get your win back?
I mean, yeah, I feel good right now. I mean, it takes probably about a week and a half or so to just, you know, your body knows what it's used to. And, you know, I've been running and breathing my whole life, so, you know, it's a blessing to be able to do that.